Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is your Boomba right here on your Boom Radio NG, and my name is Oladilgwa. The one and only. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar this very interesting afternoon. It is a few minutes past three, 2 minutes past three actually, in the city of Lagos. I hope that you have been enjoying yourself all day, depending on what time you are, wherever you are. So that's why we say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is. Today is going to be not different from every other day, as we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Majorly, one of the things that we're going to be talking about is that there's been a lot of reactions to the August 1st planned protest. However, I don't know how much of that planned protest is going to be happening, because there's really has been a lot of reactions that we're going to be talking about today, a lot of breakdowns of that. However, sadly, another building collapsed in Lagos State today, in the early hours of the day. We're going to be talking about that. And then quite a number of Olympic updates. Olympics have started unofficially, but they're supposed to start tomorrow officially. So yes, we would also get to talk quite a bit about that as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. But when I'm not doing this alone, I'm going to be here with Shala Rogers, and of course with all y'all dropping your comments and us having a beautiful, beautiful show today. So my name is Oladolupo.
My name is Shola Rogers. It's always a pleasure to be here. Let's go.
Okay, so we're starting straight. We're diving right into the number of reactions from the presidency to the governors to the police to the ministry to the virtually everybody, to the House of Assemblies. Everybody seems to have something to say about this. What's the word now? This planned protest that is coming up. A lot of people are for it. Some people are against it. There's a lot of, back and forth. However, the latest on this right now is that the president is meeting with APC governors over this and talking about the governors. Yes, I think they also had a meeting, basically, a closed door meeting talking about the planned protest. However, we do not know what the resolution from that meeting was or is, but we definitely will put out that. Now, first things first, now moving on from that, but still talking about this because it seems we're going to spend quite some time on it. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, yesterday had urged Igbo youths not to join this planned protest.
Yeah, Benjamin Kalu, in the structure of Nigerian politics, is arguably the highest placed Igbo person in politics, is being the deputy speaker.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the highest placed
Yeah.
person, and of course, he's someone who is a member of the APC, who of course should be listened to based on the fact that he's definitely putting the interest of his people first. I'm even feeling that why would he make a sectional statement like Igbo youths, you get, because once you become a representative, you're national now, you're federal, and you're also number 2 man in the House of Assembly, which I think
number 4 man.
number 2 man in the House of Reps.
House of Reps.
Which makes you in Nigeria number 4.
No.
That's number 6.
Number 6.
That's
yes.
number 6, 5 or 6. That
Yes,
range.
6.
So if you have all of that positioning, you should be talking to the entire Nigerian youth and not just the Igbo youth. That's my take on it.
The funny thing is that I will not even berate him for
I'm
this.
not berating him. I'm just saying that the message should be meant for the entire Nigerian youth. The fact that he singled out a certain part of the country must have a reason. There must be a reason for it.
And I think that one of the reasons is that there's been a lot of talk and a lot of, I won't call it attack, a lot of people with people singling out people in the southeast and youths in the southeast, saying that they're the ones championing this, and then a lot of people, you hear a lot of people talk on Twitter especially, saying that a lot of people, these people, southeasterners should go to their towns and their villages to go and protest against the sit-at-homes and all that, and that they should, rather than want to protest in Lagos or Abuja, they should go back to their hometowns to go and protest. That's one side. Also, I think that I have listened to quite a couple of spaces on Twitter as well. Not sat in it for so long, I will not even lie, because there's some of them that I just can't stand. But, you know, you will just listen just because you're a journalist anyway. So the thing for me is I've seen a trend also with, and it's not a blanket statement, I'm just saying what I observed, that there's a large chunk of Igbo youths going on about wanting to protest and all that. So maybe he's just seeing some of this trajectory and some of the things happening, and he's like, okay, let's not be tagged in some type of way. So I would rather you people please not protest, which I don't think is a bad thing at this point.
So I didn't say it was a bad thing. Maybe that's the way you perceived what I said. I'm saying that this message is relevant to all Nigerian youth, and I'm wondering why he decided, being a national leader and number 6 man in Nigeria, number 2 in the House of Reps, why he decided to zero in on his own youth only, his own brothers and sisters. This message that he's passing, I'm saying it's beyond them. It's beyond the region. It's a global thing, except there is a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm not, in what part did I berate him if you listen to everything I've said now? In what part did I berate him?
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying that that's
you kept on
what
going
I
on
say.
about that though. So
yeah, that was why. Okay, so basically, I'm just saying that maybe those are the kind of things that he noticed and he saw, that he felt that it was okay to put out that statement for Igbo people. Anyway, so now moving on from that, there's still a lot of conversation around that. Moving on from that, and let's go a bit to the military. The military decided to have a conversation about it. They decided to not be quiet this time. And one of the things that they said, or they're alleging, that they have come to a conclusion that there's a planned protest that they are planning to stage, like the anarchy that happened in Kenya. However, they will not sit back and allow that happen.
Well, the military have their ways of gathering information, and I like to take everything first, as it is, without any bias or sentiment or whatever. And it's not far-fetched if you look at the rhetoric that's been bandied around, you look at the things that are being said online by the, promoters of this protest. I think the military are not far from the truth, saying that when the riots in Kenya started, a lot of people online, their tweets are still there, and they're very popular people. You can tag them. I actually detest the word influencer because it's been bastardized, but you can tag them as influencers who kept on saying, hey, Nigerian youth, you're here talking about steez in Ijebu.
Your mates
look at your mates in Kenya. Look at what they're doing. They're taking over the government. They're shutting down Kenya and all of that. So they kept on going on and on about it, and that led to this. Then again, you look at someone like Omoyele Sowore, for instance. He's been tweeting about this thing for almost a decade now, and it never really gets the kind of traction that he's getting now. Mm-hmm. It would go on about days of rage. The last time he had done this was under former President Buhari.
So BT616 says, good morning, Shola. So it's only Shola that deserves it. I will keep my good afternoon to myself. However, he says, I hope you know that August is Isheshe month in all Yoruba states.
Yes, as agreed.
Lagos is not even smiling.
As agreed last year.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, that in the same month, there will be Osun Osogbo festival.
There is a Osun festival. There
There
now
are other
15 days of
festivals.
Oro in Lagos.
No,
from August.
that Oro thing, I'm actually getting some kind of update on it that they have not made that pronouncement yet.
Okay.
But according to one of the proponents of Isheshe online that I tend to follow, he's saying that they don't need that kind of announcement, but that they would, of course, go through the proper channels. That the first person to put it out is a certain Dipo, whom they refer to as a Christian, and that is not an Isheshe person. So that people should keep quiet on the Oro matter. That when Oro wants to come, they will let people know. But right now, that they want to focus on the festivals that are coming up, especially the Osun Osogbo festival and other festivals. There's another one in the Ogun water side, that happens around this month of August also. And you know that Lagos already made that law, and the other southwest states have bought into it, and they're saying yes, it's the Shashe month. I have always said it here that if we say Nigeria is a secular state, then everybody deserves to have the same kind of treatment. For instance, you have Christmas Day, 2 days. That's 1 day Christmas, 1 day Boxing Day. You have Salah, Eid, Maulud Nabil, and all these celebrations. There's really nothing wrong with declaring the same number of days or some days also for the people who do not follow any of those religions. I really don't have a problem with that, because you say that Nigeria is a secular state. If Nigeria was a religious state, like a Christian or Muslim state or both, then you also still need to accommodate other religions.
Yeah, exactly.
But now with the secularity, if there's such a word, of Nigeria,
everybody
why do all
entitled.
These religions have their own days and some other religions don't? I don't think one religion is bigger than the other. I have Christian brothers who would not like what I've said, but I said what I said, and that's what I believe. And we should allow Isheshe people, celebrate their month or their days and all of that.
Anyway, so going back to the you were still talking about the army.
Yes, so the army must have gathered enough intelligence, and like I said, it's not far-fetched. Those statements are still on there. Go to Twitter, you will see it.
There's so
They're
many
there. People who were saying, "Oh, why are you celebrating Ojude while people are rioting in Kenya?
What are you trying to do?" Yeah,
and they kept on calling people out and everything. Then Omoyele, like I was saying, now starts his days of rage. He says it's 10 days of rage. They want to protest about bad governance and all of that. And 2 days ago, he was tweeting about how if they ask you who is the promoter of this protest, you say it's hunger and this and that.
But it's not his own name.
But if you look at it, he's one of the promoters. It's obvious because, again, he's also tweeted yesterday about how New York is joining the protest. New York is joining. He's probably going to be in New York protesting.
Oh, it's like, wow.
It's not in Nigeria. He's traveled.
Wow.
Oh, he's traveled.
He's not even in Nigeria.
No, he's not. Okay. He's not in Nigeria. He's going to be protesting against bad governance across.
He's not in Nigeria.
The whole of New York and Nigerians will protest.
He's not in Nigeria.
No, he's not. He actually traveled. So that's.
When are we going to receive sense?
Oh, well, it's still part of it.
When are we actually going to receive sense?
So that's it. That's that. So what they are doing, because I'm checking out what they're doing, is that they're calling for organizers in different parts of Nigeria. So they have a map now that they are posting on social media. Showore is also posting that map, where when they have, like they say that they have coordinators in Ikorodu and about 3 or 4 other parts of Lagos, some other parts of the southwest.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
And I don't want to sound, but at times I feel that some of these things don't make any sense. If you want to do a lot of protest and you know that maybe the government is against it, why are you putting all that information online?
Yeah, because that's where they also get to organize their protest. Actually, it's online. So
okay. So BT616 says Nigeria needs a benevolent dictator. Democracy ofituarara shola. And
the person that comes to mind is the ruler or the president of Rwanda. That's what he is. He's more or less like a dictator. You get, and he gets things done one way or the other. And it got to the point where his country is even sponsoring Arsenal and is doing a lot of advertising. all the biggest sports shows, especially in basketball now, must go to Rwanda.
To Rwanda, yeah.
They have the best facilities when it comes to basketball in Africa at the moment as we speak, and amongst other things, you know. So maybe that, at least that it's worked well for Rwanda. It's only
so he's talking to you. So he says, no, I mean like a Libya or a UAE kind of leadership.
Well, in the case of Libya again,
when what's it called was there Gaddafi. Yes.
A lot of people don't understand that the problems that we're facing in Africa today is because some people conspired to remove Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Gaddafi held that region down, and in pushing for an African Union must have led to whatever happened
to him.
Yeah. So the only part I don't get is how he had women guarding him. You know, he had those babes that were, and he would travel with his own armor and everything.
Anyway, so basically, I think that at the moment,
but it might not work in Nigeria because a lot of people believe that they are too sophisticated or too advanced and too outspoken, you know, for some of these things. So basically, I like you said, I don't think the army is far-fetched. I've gone so bad or they are out of place in this matter, especially when you're on social media and you're on Twitter, or more like if you're on Twitter without a bias. I saw an interview of Femi Falana. I think the interview was 2 days ago or yesterday, I'm not sure, where he was asked if he was going to join this protest. And he said he would not, basically because he doesn't know who's involved in the protest, what their plan is and everything, and that it does not make any sense, that he's too old for him to just join something that does not have headway. However, the secretary is the Lagos state government has also now said that Lagos state government is not stopping people from protesting. However, they are going to repel any form of attack that they will not. So we will not have a repeat of the 2020 NSAS protest. So that's a slight contrast to what the chairman of the local government in Lagos had said. They said they're not even going to condone any protest in their regions because, of course, the local governments are spread across Lagos and they are component units of the entire Lagos. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't think they have their own police yet. But when they said they were going to repel or that they will not condone
maybe they have their ways.
We don't know what they were planning, you get.
Talking of what they said, if we go all the way to Bauchi State, Bauchi has officially said that there would not be a protest in the state. And anybody, a proper warning was put out that anybody planning to organize should think twice.
Okay. Bauchi State operates the same constitution like everybody else. Bauchi State Governor or SSG or whoever put out that statement,
the SSG,
should also realize that that statement contravenes the constitution. People cannot be stopped from protesting. Look, you see, it's two things. There's riot and there's protest. But the law says that if you want to protest, there are things that you have to put in place. Mm-hmm. For instance, you must write a letter to the police, seeking permission and protection. A lot of people are planning a protest and they're not going this route. Leave that aside for a minute. But something that is spontaneous would usually lead to a riot. It could be a protest.
But this one is not spontaneous.
You see the parallels. I'm trying to establish it really. Mm-hmm. So you see it. Protest. You have to go through, the channels and proper channels of it. Riot breaks out spontaneously.
You people.
Rodney King riot.
Can I say something?
Ali must go.
Can I say something?
June 12 riots.
Normally, before the Gbasgbos enters, we used to enter like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. However, Chief Nikoko decides to break tables less than half time of the show. And he says...
And you quote.
And I quote. Falana is an embarrassment to us in Ekiti. The attention-seeking lawyer needs to go away. I knew he was a clown when he initially supported the invasion of our brother Sunday Igbo's house. End of quote.
Okay. Oh, did he speak against Sunday
Funny
Igboho?
enough, I'm not even sure. But you know the funny thing is that there are two things that, from what he said, I don't think he's a clown. However, I'm also not a fan of Sunday Igboho though, so really. But I also think that yes, at times that the man can be very two-sided. One time he's for the people, another time is sounding like he just wants to be very he wants to be on the fence, like pick a side, pick a struggle.
Okay,
that's it. But
I disagree with you guys. I think that Falana on his day has contributed a lot to the activist movement in Nigeria. He's done his own part. He's played his own part. You might not agree with everything. There's no way. I don't agree with everything that you, Dolupo, say, or even our brothers and sisters out there too. So you might not agree with everything he says or does, but I like the way he usually anchors a lot of the things he says on the law, because if we don't have structure, if we don't have laws in place, then these things will not work. And the law must have made him not support Sunday Igboho's approach to a Yoruba nation. There's going to come a point that
so
whether we like it or not. Okay, please go ahead.
So Peterman says, please, Dolupo, be very careful. We in Oyo State love Sunday Igboho, aka Black Jesus. A few people. I would say
no, it's fine. Like I'm glad that you said that. So this, what I'm saying, tallies with that. I just feel that if Sunday Igboho wants to fight for emancipation of the Yoruba nation or the Yoruba race,
it's against the law.
Yeah, we're bound by the Constitution of Nigeria. So it's a no-no for me. However, when they decide to sit, maybe we are able to put people in the House of Assembly, or we're able to get through to our governors at the House. It even starts at the State House of Assembly to the national. We're able to put things in place to say, really and truly, do we want to continue the way Nigeria is, or do we want to restructure, or do we want to, However, we still have to be guided by
the law. Now, so
no matter how strongly one feels about.
So the honest truth, or how I feel about Sunday Igboho is that if he was not nipped in the bud, we will have the same thing Nnamdi Kanu is doing in the southeast.
And he was
going in that trajectory.
And it was already liaising with.
Yes, I think that it was going in that trajectory, and we can't have lawlessness.
I liked the way he went from state to state, and he got this massive support. But he started talking anarchy.
No, we can't. I don't think that it is right. Peterman says we're slaves to the law. Ibadan will become the capital of our Odua nation, and we shall take back our Kwara and parts of Kogi up to Jeba.
Yeah, the Yoruba people are spread so far wide.
They are, but I don't know how that is going to happen. But even if the Odua nation is ever going to happen, we cannot use violence to say we want to get things done. I don't think that it is right. If we're not careful, we would have ended up the same issues with IPOB and the Southeast. That's where it was going. So I felt
constantly we're reminded that we as a nation, Nigeria, we're a contraption of different nations within one. And when we were younger, we used to think, it was going to be 1, 2, 3, like north, south, east, and southwest. But now, even within the south, there are going to be like splinters, if it ever happens, that would just blow people's minds. That you're seeing in Delta now, there's this running battle. It's been going on for decades. The law has settled certain aspects of it, but there's a cry now by the Shekiri nation. I don't know if you guys are following it. The Urobos are there staking their claims. The Jaws
everybody wants to
and the zone cuts across many states also. They're in the southwest, they're in the south, So you look at all those things and you think that, again, if it's going to happen, it's not just going to be north south. Because even in the north, with the 6 geopolitical zones that Abacha brought about and everybody has keyed into, within those zones, there are zones.
There are zones, obviously.
The vice president is from...
Is in
another minority
Kanuri, he's
group.
Not even... They're not
Fulanis.
They're not... Yeah, exactly.
We still have the Birums. We have the Jos people, Abi. The Benues.
Yes, the Benues, all those people are not northerners. They're not Hausas. They're not Fulanis.
So the Yoruboid people, they actually, he's right by that spread that he talked about.
Oh, yes.
Because
they're not even, what he's saying is the proper Yoruba. The Yoruboid what you would maybe say up until maybe like the Nupe side.
Yes, now.
The Kwara and parts of Kogi are proper Yoruba people.
They are Yoruba.
They are proper. They are not even like.
They are. I spent some time in Offa.
They are proper Yoruba people.
And
they are not
Agbamu and those places.
You can't even say that they are Hausa or anything. They speak proper Yoruba and all that, but they're in the North Central. BT616 says Ogbeni Peteru is making sense. I'm a supporter of Yoruba Nation. Please don't forget our brothers in Shakiri. They are Yoruboids as well.
Yeah. Just
exactly.
Like I was saying.
So it's going to be a lot of... It's a lot. I think it's going to be a lot. But however, even if it's ever going to happen, I would always still say that you cannot use violence to get things done. It's just wrong.
And like I was saying, and I think someone put it better. I think it was Peterman that said it. We're slaves to the laws, to the law. Sadly, that's the scenario.
It is what it is now. Still talking about that.
That's my grouse with Igbo, that it was now going to become violent.
Violent about it. Speaking of the Yoruboids kind of people, we're going all the way to Benin, where the Oba of Benin has also now urged the protesters to give the federal government more time and not embark on this protest.
Again, this protest for me, I don't like double speak. It is constitutional to protest, but you have to do it within the confines of the law. But this particular protest to me is looking like a political protest.
Yes, I think that's what is making a lot of these people speak up and decide that, what, maybe you shouldn't even protest at all.
The Omonoba has spoken, right?
Mm-hmm.
He rose from a meeting of traditional rulers. That's their consensus, obviously. You're hearing that the Nigerian Labour Congress says, how can we pull out of a strike, of a protest that we're not even involved in?
So, we know
the National Association of Nigerian Students. I saw a press statement. I hope it's an original press statement.
There's a proper press statement, yes, saying that...
They're saying they're not part of it.
They're not now a part of it anymore because there's a lot of funny influences going there. Even also Muslim rights concern Murik and others have decided that they're not joining this protest. Now,
so what is the protest
all these
about?
people are saying they're not joining the protest. NANS, for example, is a very large chunk of the Nigerian youth. If they can come out to say they're not joining the protest, what's it called? NLC, TUC are saying that they don't know anything about the protest, so they're not joining the protest. Those ones just collected 70,000, so they cannot say they're not
W,
RTN, all those people are saying they're not joining the protest.
So again,
exactly
this is not to downplay anybody that is a part of organizing this protest. It is obvious that they are becoming more known. We're seeing them now, and we're seeing that there are more of people who were political than activists.
Yeah.
Not like political people too cannot protest.
No, but like everybody, they have ulterior motives.
So someone did a reel and say, are things hard in Nigeria? Of course, we're all feeling the pinch. Everybody's feeling it.
It's ridiculous.
The cost of living has gone up by my own estimation. Yeah. Statistically, I don't have calculators, but I know what is going out of my pocket. And everybody knows what is going out of their pocket. By 400-600% of what it was before Tinubu's government came. But why are we going through it? First, subsidy removal. The cost of buying fuel is the main reason, because
Yeah.
everybody has injured on that. And while we're going that, it's a double whammy. Boom. Next thing, Nigeria is so import dependent. It is shameful and disgraceful. We're import dependent to the point where you wonder what exactly we manufacture.
We manufacture, yeah. Chief Onigoko says that's one of my prayers in this. One of my prayers that if I make Ile Oduduwa a nation in my lifetime, we all know that Nigeria is holding us back. Yoruba nation would have been more advanced. As much as I would agree a little bit.
One thing that is sorry, you finish. I'll say what I want to say.
Oh, okay. So I said one thing that I think that as much as a little bit, I would probably agree that maybe being Nigeria would probably have held the Yoruba people back a little bit. However, I will still keep saying it that we could have still done a lot of things as the glory of the Southwest that has always been.
Sure.
Explain to me what the governors are doing. I think that most governors are lazy.
We must be real with ourselves that even within the confines of the contraption called Nigeria, the country called Nigeria, when we had a regional-based government, God bless the sage, Pa Awolowo. When we had a regional-based government, first television station, first this, first that, who built it? Where was it built? And how was it funded? It was not money from the center.
Yeah. But there was still a center.
Yes, but it was IGR. It was IGR from the Southwest. Free education. All of those things were sponsored and built. Ikeja was crafted as an industrial area in the same place like Ibadan. You go to, what's that place? Oluyole, where there's always like Oluyole. It was the same thing. And that's the structure of the Southwest.
So what happened to all those places?
That's the period they created the Odua group of companies. You know, the Odua Holdings, Odua this, Odua had banks. They had real estate business. You know, Wema Board, Wema Bank. You know, all of them were under the Odua group. What happened? The military, Dolupo, more or less shut a lot of things down. You know, I think I saw a systemic way of slowing one region down for other regions to catch.
But I agree.
I'm coming. Sorry, I don't want to lose my chain of thoughts. Sorry.
Go ahead. Please.
So when they did all of this and the military left how many years ago? They left in 1999. This is 2024. If all the Southwest governors were serious, look at the things that Lagos has achieved within that short period. If every governor, regardless of party, look at the structure of 1999 when the AD came in. They had virtually all the states.
Yeah.
They had virtually all the states. Tinubu was governor in Lagos. Oshoba was governor in Ogun State. You know, Adefarati.
Lad Madeshino was governor.
Adefarati, and Pa Bisi Akonde. They were all governors. What exactly did they do in those 4 years?
Exactly.
So politicking and everything is a part of it, but governance should be the one. And there has to be that conscious effort to develop your region, your zone, within the confines of the law, without breaking any laws.
Well, here now, when a governor started the real, what's it called in Lagos State, and another one came, and then nothing happened in 4 years.
But they stopped the
We
whole,
were right here,
blue
and
line.
it stopped.
Now, Sanwo-Olu on his own has started red line, and he has finished it.
Yeah, I think it's on stream now. They started.
2 days ago, test running this for 60 days or thereabout. Now, that red line terminates inside Ogun State. Ogun State.
There's a governor that's been there for
Ogun
5
State
years.
With the IGL,
5 years.
With the IGL should have connected to that rail by now. The blue line, phase 2 is also going to get to Ogun State. What is it waiting for? Do you know that under Fayemi, when they had their meeting under the Southwest governors, Fayemi and the late governor of Ondo State, there's actually a Southwest rail master plan. The federal is talking about a federal ring road. Southwest rail master plan. This coastal road that they are saying, the former governor of Ondo was talking about it, connecting Ondo State to Lekki. Have they done it?
Nothing. It's just talk.
So every time you hear them talk, what exactly are they doing? Look at all the farm settlements in Oyo. What happened to them? Ogun has sold half of their land now to estate people. This estate, that estate.
That's it.
Estate
like,
that will be giving you oil and palm oil and whatever to buy land. You know, say something there.
That's the problem. Like, yes, Nigeria might be holding us back, but
what are we doing?
With the little that you have, what are we doing? Like I've always said, I think that governors are one of the laziest set of human beings in the world.
And this should
Nigerian
happen,
governors.
This should happen across all regions.
So Chief Koko says that we're losing our culture, Dolupo. We're raising Yoruba kids that can't even read or write the language. The kids know nothing about the Yoruba spirituality. They are Oriki, Akosejaye, etc. Enough is enough. That, like I said again, I don't think that has to do with anything with Nigeria. I think that it's a personal thing. I think that it's a personal thing. I was still having a discussion with someone 2 days ago. I said that when I was growing up, you were not even allowed to speak Yoruba in school. They will tell you that it's vernacular and they will beat you for it. However, you are still supposed to do Yoruba and then pass the exam. How? Make it make sense. My Yoruba was horrible until maybe like I got to uni. It was just not something I understood, but speaking was a conscious effort to, okay, let me know this thing and let me know that thing. Like yesterday, when I was asking, I actually wanted to know. It was a conscious effort. I was not telling someone like 2 days ago that it's not even fashionable anymore
to say you don't speak Yoruba, or you don't speak your language.
I have a cousin that when she first gave birth, she said that once her child started school, they spoke all the English in school. But when you get home, we're speaking Yoruba, and it never affected her English or anything in any way. So I think that is just us as a people.
It's not just a Yoruba thing. A lot of languages are dying globally. A lot of languages are dying because everybody wants to speak French or English. But look at Mandarin. They don't play around, and they are learning your language now. Mm-hmm. Look at the Russians. They will never drop their Russian for any other language. That's why everything about them is still very, very Russian. And we are here. You know, someone speaks Igbo. He speaks Hausa. These are the languages that everybody needs to keep going. So it's even down to the parents now, but especially the governors. Who is in charge of secondary education? Is it not the state governors?
The state governors, yeah.
Is it not the primary schools? Is it not local government and state? Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So what's happening to the curriculum? What exactly are we doing about it? We need to move away from this place. I was listening to the former Ghanaian education minister talk about teaching students science and other subjects in our
local language. You know, someone was talking about really knowing your dialect, and someone was saying that you hear some people say, my children understand when I speak to them, but they can't speak it. And it's like, it does not make any sense.
It doesn't.
As much as your child understands it, that language stops with that child. Yeah. Because the minute that child can't speak the language, they can't speak it to the next generation, and that's it. You can't pass it on.
You can't pass it on. And these are the problems.
Do you understand? Those are the problems. And so that's why I think that, yes, as much as there may be a lot of things holding us back as Nigeria as a whole, what are we doing as our own people individually as a region to hold these things together?
There's a guy that started a fantastic program concept called Mason Igbo. And that program has grown in leaps and bounds. People are coming on that program. You speak English, you lose money. And that is another way to promote culture, tradition, and language.
With using what the new things that we have now. And
he's doing it on his own.
Chief Koko says, my grandkids speak 3 languages, English, Spanish, and French. We were taught mathematics in Yoruba back in the day. And you know the sad part with Yoruba for me these days is the fact that non-Yoruba people are going the extra mile, even as far as Russia, to actually learn the language that we are claiming is vernacular.
Yeah, it's sad. But again, there are individuals who are doing great things. You know, there's another person who has done some science formulas and everything in Yoruba. They've created some apps like that and all of that.
It's almost like Yoruba has become like a global language, but we, the owners, have just...
Your Ayo Olokpo is actually more popular outside Africa now that it is in Nigeria.
How many young people know Ayolokmo or can? I know that I grew up with it because I literally grew up with a lot of board games. It was something that
we worked on that project. Me and my friend Femi Abioye.
We grew up in my house. However,
and we found that there were a lot of people playing Ayolokmo online.
Outside
Nigeria.
There are apps
Outside
and
Nigeria.
a lot of things now, but how many people understand it here? Chifoni Gogo says 26 universities in America offer bachelor's and master's in Yoruba. That's what we're saying. Like the people outside, actually, it will get to a point where foreigners are the ones teaching us our own language.
Oh, we're getting there now. We're getting there.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But
and again, those are the issues with education. Mm-hmm. The mentality, and I've been using this word a lot, programming, that everybody has gone through is what's holding a lot of us back, a lot of people back. We need to make a conscious effort. So every time we blame the government, we blame but personally, what are we doing within our home? He's talked about his grandchildren speaking 3 languages. That's how you start. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
So what are you doing, to preserve and protect your culture and your tradition, your language, and by extension, your country, But we will continue to propagate and promote these things because we don't have any choice than to bring it out, or else extinction
is there. Now, just want everybody out there, INEC has now come out categorically to say that they are competent enough to conduct local government elections. I
have advocated for this all along. All they need to do...
So it looks like they are itching to...
No, look, I said it. The House of Assembly, the Federal House, is passing a bill to create an agency to organize local government elections. It doesn't make sense. We already have an electoral body, independent electoral commission. Give them capacity and law to expand their activities. Again, write it into the law. Let those elections be conducted right about the same time. Right about the same time. Look, for instance, the 2 days of Nigeria's general elections, the ad hoc staff will be paid for that period. If you extend it by an additional week, is that not more cost? But if you organize the local government election within that 2 weeks window, is it not the same cost? We don't need a local government electoral commission when we have INEC. Separately. Just expand INEC.
Okay, so Chifoni Gogo says our Oluwa once told us that Yorubas will end up like the Jews, where foreigners will believe in their own spirituality more than them. Did you know that there is anthropology and quantum physics in Odufa? Oh, yeah.
I saw a Japanese man. I saw a video. We talked about this a few weeks ago, right? Actually practicing Odufa. Then there's this professor, this woman, I've forgotten her name now. This is bad. Explaining the whole concept of Odufa. And it's science.
It's science. It's binary numbers. And
it's science.
Yeah.
So I think the programming came from the white people who basically... And
then we just keyed into it.
And we keyed into it. Or our forefathers keyed into it.
Exactly.
And passed it on to us. Let you believe that everything that you have is fetish. What is fetish? It's the same people that will use fetish for a good thing on their own side and tell you that your own is fetish. I keep saying it now. Halloween, for instance. People are wearing masquerade uniform to go to party.
I thought that was the only one that used to think
your own is fetish.
If I'm not going to do Halloween, then I'm not going to go for an egun. It's the same thing in my own dictionary.
I was going to join Eyo Fancy, one of the Eyos, many years ago, and I did not hear the last of it from my family people. It's this.
But if you say that you're going to a Halloween party, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
What's the difference? What's the difference? And even the Eyo that it's not even Eyo Osha, it's Eyo Fancy. I just like that white thing. Yeah, we'll be dancing and we'll be protected by Laba. But of course,
no, okay. You're not that
said
one.
I shouldn't go.
You're not that one. Moving on from that quickly, sadly, 5 site workers lost their lives in a building collapse at Arowojobe Estate in Maryland area of Lagos today. So there's a lot of talk about this building is still under construction.
And it has collapsed before people moved
And
in.
it has collapsed.
Again,
Killing 5 people.
The whole concept of even having construction workers sleep over at sites is not a great one. They do it for cost purposes. Some of those guys are thinking of the amount of transportation that they used to go home back and forth. And so they live in those things without windows or doors or anything. That shows you the level of poverty in the land. Or at times, people are overdoing this so-called poverty, because if your job you are doing, you should be able to at least work out.
They get paid every day.
Yeah,
every
daily
day.
pay. Again, that's one. Two, what kind of construction are you doing that the building collapses before it's put to use? It shows that it's been defective from the foundation.
Yeah, from the get.
And that's what it means. And what kind of collapse is it that 5 people died? They were probably sleeping. Do you understand? When the building
happened
came
like
down?
in the middle of the night. It did happen very, very early this morning. It's actually very sad.
It's almost like every 3 weeks in Nigeria.
There's one
building collapse. And people are dying.
Sadly,
money is wasted.
It makes it worse in Lagos. About 26% of all the buildings that collapses in Nigeria are in Lagos.
26%. So these are the issues. We know that one of the greatest things is the group of developers who would stop at nothing to build these things without thinking about safety. Their own is that they want to do a quick recoup of their investments.
So what are all these agencies doing?
And there's no building that you walk past, any building, you see the sticker there, Labsca, La Sepa, La this and La that. Again, I always defend them by saying that they do not have the manpower for it. So I keep saying it, create a whistleblower app, so that a lot of us going around seeing these things, maybe I'm out on a walk,
you also,
I can help them by reporting some of the things that we see going on.
But I would also say that at times there are a large chunk of people that don't even know something is defective. You probably have gone over the years and been very, maybe learnt a few things, even if you're not an engineer, learnt a few things or observed for so long. What happens to people that are not only that observant? Now, my issue with them is that we say that they don't have enough. I would say that if every building that collapses, a few people get sacked of all this, all these agencies, I'm sure that they will sit up at some point. BC616 says, I only use Togolese and Yoruba speaking Beninois for construction in Nigeria. I don't trust Nigerian construction companies.
To be honest with you, it is a sad development, but a sad reality, and it is actually happening.
Yeah, it's not the first time I'm hearing people say that.
Yeah, we worked with them. I know some guy that worked on a site that we were supervising that year, and he was screeding. When the guy paints, it's like art, like everything is smooth. And the guy was from Benin Republic, speaks Yoruba, but he's from Benin Republic. Maybe because of the kind of training that they go through there, and our own guys don't want to learn anything.
Yeah, that also now causes a question.
They want to make money.
You just want to make money.
But again, let us also realize that building construction should not be an all-commerce thing. It's supposed to be done by experts. There's supposed to be people. There's supposed to be architects drawing your plans, quantity surveyors, helping you work out the cost. Meaning that
if you don't have correct money, don't build house yet.
That's what it's supposed to be. But you know that everybody is a construction engineer. Everybody
is engineer.
And you know how you know that it was mommy was engineer and or daddy engineer that built it is when they finish and you are climbing the stairs.
That's the first time.
You're like, these stairs, you don't need.
You are outside.
You don't need treadmill.
My eye or
is this house? Is this house?
My head. Anyway,
so this as funny as this sounds, this is a call to action for the construction industry, the stakeholders there.
Yeah.
The government who is supposed to supervise all of this, and us, the people. Are we all actually doing the right thing?
So BT616 says something very interesting. He says the technical schools in Togo is free, We destroyed our own technical schools by upgrading them to unis. And I think I agree. We don't always have to have universities.
No.
And you know one thing that reminds me, this thing that he said reminds me of something. So in uni, I used to have a roommate that was my friend that was in civil engineering, yeah? And so they had some practicals that they had to do. However, those practicals and the people that could put them through were in Polytechnic of Ibadan. University of Ibadan didn't have the expertise to deal with those practicals. They didn't have the expertise. They didn't have the equipment. And then there was now a day, she now said that they actually asked the lecturers, they're like that they are technical schools. That's basically what they are meant for.
Yeah.
So the even the government would invest those kind of things first in those kind of schools than that. Well, a lot of people they now said that the man was just saying that a lot of people downgrade polytechnics in Nigeria, but that when you're looking for their mode of schooling is more practical.
If there's
than the universities.
If there's anything I'm going to learn and borrow from the US is in how every profession has standards and requirements and sort of training that you do. In Nigeria, you can actually just sit down now, get a clipper, and say you're a barber.
Yeah.
In America, you cannot.
You cannot. Yeah.
It's the same way with food to a certain level. Before you open a restaurant, there's certain things that you need to acquire, and on and on. But in Nigeria, you know that people can actually become nurses without going to nursing school.
Oh. Maybe auxiliary.
They have a name now, auxiliary nurse.
You go and learn it.
And
it's a trade.
The auxiliary that me I know, the old jeeps, when we were growing up, the old jeeps used to have 2 gears, Dolupo. 2 gears. So they'll have the main gear and the auxiliary gear.
I think I've seen those things before. Yes. They're always like smaller.
So the main gear is the nurse that went to nursing school.
What's it called?
The auxiliary gear, you actually don't need it until you're in some kind of bind.
And if they buy, what's it called? And then the auxiliary nurse gives you a injection on your muscle.
Sorry, based on the algorithm and the way YouTube and all this Facebook and things work, would appreciate likes and shares too, please. We're not asking for too much because it helps us grow, helps us reach a wider audience.
Okay,
likes
so
and shares.
Chief Onikoko says every local government in America has a community college. Shola is old enough to remember the wood finishing tailoring courses offered in secondary schools back in the day.
Yeah, technical drawing. We did T&D. Then again, I don't know if we talked about it here. The girls will go to center. The girls, there are days of the week when the girls in our school, because we didn't have that particular kitchen setting and all those things that they want to learn. There's home economics, then there's actually
there's home economics now.
But not the one that they're writing book. This one, they will actually go for practicals outside our school. So the girls will go to a place they call center, while we would be in the technical drawing place. We're doing wood finishing or we're doing agric. You would have to pick one. Oh, we did that. We did that. And imagine.
There was agric, there was TD, there was food and nutrition.
Yeah.
It was just.
But those are life skills, Dolupo.
Like TD was about drawing. It wasn't about
beyond
wood
that,
finishing.
Like we did that. We did
it. We did those kind of things.
Those things helped. At some point,
they did.
There was one of our assignments one time was that we picked all the damaged chairs and desks in the school. And we fixed them. And they didn't have to go and spend money on it. These are life skills, but what are we talking about here? Now, education now is about building children to the point where all they can do is press computer.
Apparently. Anyway, before we go quickly, let's just do a bit of Olympic updates. There are a few updates. Olympic is officially starting tomorrow. However, it has started yesterday. I think Argentina got beaten yesterday. Yeah,
that game was very funny. It was 2-1. Morocco was leading them. And Argentina scored. And guess what? The fans got involved. So the game was blown off for like an hour. And when they came back, they checked VAR and said that the Argentine goal was offside. So the score went back to 2-1.
2-1.
And eventually ended at 2-1. And after that, of course, the Argentines had something to say.
Yeah, sadly, they also said that they got robbed before that game.
Yes. Javier Mascherano, their coach, was not really happy. talked about different items being missing and everything. And I was like, okay,
exactly.
Olympics never start. They're not the team people
team a lot of things. However, talking about football, the Super Falcons are going to begin their own Olympic journey today at 6 p.m. West African time. Like I said, they are the only people that I watch their football.
And they're playing Brazil.
They're the only ones. I don't, whether they are winning or whether they are losing,
Go Falcons.
I'm going to go and watch it.
Yeah.
Peterman says, I'm going to the movies to watch Deadpool with the kids. This Osimhen is no longer funny. I'm worried.
It's actually a sad one. It's a sad one. I hope that Osimhen's career will not, go down
the way
from
he's
here.
the way he's
it's
going.
a very sad situation.
It needs prayers at
Deadpool,
the moment.
is that 3? Abi, which one?
No, Deadpool versus Wolverine just came out actually. Yeah.
Maybe we should watch that at the weekend though.
Yeah. Why do I know that?
Okay.
Anyway, moving on from that, still talking about that FIFA is investigating Canada amid the drone spying scandal at this same Olympics.
Yeah. So a member of staff of the Canadian
part
coach,
3.
It claims, Abi.
Yeah, part 3.
Yeah.
I know it's Wolverine versus.
The guy claims that he was working on his own. So he used the drone to spy on their next opponents. Technology is being used for all sorts of things now.
So that's it. Also, Andy Murray has decided to withdraw from the singles and the Olympics and is set to focus on the doubles.
He doesn't have energy to play those 2 games back and forth anymore.
Still talking about tennis, they're saying that he's looking like Djokovic will meet, I think, Nadal at the second. Yes, could actually meet at the second round.
It's too early now.
It's too early, yeah.
Why are they doing this?
It's looking like that's probably what's going to happen.
That's like a quarterfinal before the finals.
The finals, it's a lot. It's a lot. Also, Celine Dion is charging about $2 million.
She's not even collecting as much as Rema. Look at that. But meanwhile, $2 million convert to naira is about billion.
Finally, before we go, UEFA has issued 230,000 euros fine to 7 countries in different for fines during the Euros that just finished. I think Croatia is getting the ones. They're saying that there were a lot of racist and discriminatory chants.
When are they going to issue fines for the Copa America? I'm interested.
That's them.
I know that's UEFA. I'm also raising it here now because that's where the wala really happened.
Yeah, which we didn't even know a lot of this drama happened. However, UEFA is not even smiling at all. They're saying that Croatia must pay the biggest fine. They're paying $54,000 for incidents at 3 of its games, and they're also going to be playing behind closed doors. Croatia and I think Albania as well, that they chanted anti-Serbian slogans as well. They're also saying that Romania, Serbia, and Slovenia are also fined. Hungary is also fined. So they're just sharing fines for everybody as it goes.
Staying with the Olympics, by Saturday you start seeing medals. Isn't it nice?
Yeah. What game is?
Oh, there will be medals. There will be some sports that there are already people.
Okay, so definitely, I think that we're all definitely like pumped for this year's Olympics. We'll see how it's going. I am actually excited. I'm personally excited for the Super Falcons. However it goes, I'm rooting for them. They're the only Nigerian team that I root for. Peterman says, did you guys cover the Gilbert Arena story?
No,
we did not. Oh wow, and time is actually out. Maybe we'll sit down and talk about it tomorrow. So anyway, on that note, that's all we will take today at the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Boomba. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Peace.